We did Koga, we did Ganeth, we did Koga. It is Lex next. Okay, good. I don't know why I'm doing this early in the morning because I'm exhausted. This is my first day off in about a month. So I'm trying to get back to work. But I have I have 3 fully scripted videos. Good to go. So I'm gonna get at least 2 done today. I'm gonna try for all 3, but we're gonna get at least 2 done. So we're on to Lex now. Lex is the next one. And unfortunately, in my opinion, I think Lex is a lower tier is a little bit of a lower tier player. Now, he does have 3 really good talents. I'm just picking one off the bat. The disadvantage to me with Lex is this. So he's a flank champion. Now, he does have a very low cooldown on his primary movement ability, and it's effective. But here's your problem. You have 350 a shot. And you look at your headshot. You're at 525. Now, this is your other problem with Lex. Recoil. They fixed the recoil. That's great. Here's your problem with Lex. So you'll find yourself often having to play this. We'll go over to the Fernando just so I can... Still not happy with that horse.
Bring your credits before I spin them for you.
This is how you'll often have to play. Just hammering the button as fast as you can. Randomly hoping you can hit something. Now Lex, unfortunately, has a very bad kit. I know what you're gonna say. What? Alright, so this is what Lex has. Let's start off. So you have your primary fire, which is 350 a shot. Which means that mid-range, this is what you're dealing. You're missing a ton of your shots rapidly firing. Look at that. Look at how many shots at mid-range I'm missing.
That's 5 in a row.
Oh, shit. Right? In order to hit the majority of my shots, I have to be here. Now, if I'm over here, I miss like the last 3 or 4 shots. And he's only dealing a certain amount of damage. That's your other disadvantage. Why is my auto-aim hitting Ying?
And found wanting.
Well, because Ying's closer. So that's your problem. I am working on a cup of tea in the background, so I'm gonna have to run and get that one that's ready.
Spin your credits before I spin them for you.
Unstoppable!
That's flicking over. It's hard to do tracking aim. Because he's a rapid fire. Unfortunately with Lex, this is kind of how you have to play. So use your slide, which is one of the best parts of your kit. You run up in their face and you just pepper them with bullets until they die.
The instrument of judgment.
Now, here's what you'll have is your skill button. Da -da -da -da, which does 1,000 damage. It's your auto aim, your da -da 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 button, as I call it. Most people on PC, most people on PC, and myself who is not on PC, will call it the skill button. There's your disadvantage. It hit him, and then it randomly switched to her because of how I moved, rather than staying on the target I was aiming at. That to me is not very helpful. Watch. Do it again. I'm aiming on him. I'm aiming on him, but it's completely hitting her because she's closer to me. That makes him very unreliable in terms of how he uses his ability. So looking at your kit, so you have a slide right here, which can't be used in the air. So if Genos has you void gripped up here in the air, you cannot slide to get out of it. Same thing if Khan goes, "You're mine," and throws you off the map, you cannot slide to get back on. So your mobility is rather limited. It is ground-based mobility. You can only do it when you're on the ground. It's Victor's sprint. And it has a cooldown on it. You have your
Think you
Retribution,
can escape the
which
law?
randomly changes your target. Unfortunately, Retribution is only good, or Discovery, whatever the fuck it's called. Your Retribution is only good with loadout or legendary cards. Yeah, so it's not effective. Where is my target, by the way? She's all the way over there. Then you have your skill button. Oh, man, I need some tea.
Spin
Which
your
is
credits before I
notoriously
spin them for
unreliable. Apparently it wants us to kill Ying. I don't know why it wants us to kill the Ying so bad, but I feel bad.
you. If your only talent is running around, you don't stand a chance.
I love that. I love how they... listen to what Lex just said. Okay? He said, if your only talent is running around, you don't stand a chance. That was some Lex. He's talking about himself. Oh my god. And now you have your ult. Now your ult to me is a bit of a problem. Now let me show you why.
No one escapes the law.
You kind of have to use it like that.
13 in a row!
Wanting.
Never dies.
You wanna know why you kind of have to use it like that? Because it's unreliable. Unless the target
Spin your credits
is
before I
on
spin them for
death's
you.
door, you can't reliably hit your ult. If you're trying to hit a target like right about here, they'll probably get healed, but as you're winding up your
No one
ult.
escapes.
Annihilation!
So it's not really the best thing in the world. Like that is, here's the thing though. You can kill them, you can kill your target with your pursuit, so there's no reason to blow the ult. You want to use your ult on somebody that's like a tank, where they're like right about there at about 50%. You want to use it right there, because your pursuit is obviously not going to fucking finish if all it does is keep shooting Ying. Which is why I don't like his skill button, is because his skill button is not a skill button. It's just, mostly people just jump right in your face. They'll just go like this. And they'll like pretend they're teabagging you and use it. Like, that's the annoying part for me.
Spin your credits
Alright, so let's
before
look at
I
loadout.
spin them
So,
for you.
your first loadout is your Heroism loadout. Now, I think Heroism is your best card. There are 3 good cards to run here. The Law Ones is bullshit. I cannot recommend the Law Ones because it's completely outmatched by Discovery. There's no reason to want to run the Law Ones. The Law One, I think that would be better if they changed that. Because while I was doing the script for this video, I came up with a couple of things on how to fix this card. One was to go back to how Lex was, which was the old way, where he used to have, it used to be like 700 damage a shot with a slower rate of fire. I think that would be better if it, maybe not to that degree, like maybe instead of, you know, maybe bring it to 550 damage per shot, but you fire one shot every 0.7 or 0.8 seconds. Something like that, instead of being able to rapidly hammer the button and go pew, 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 pew. That would be better. Another thing is maybe if it changed your ult, where your ult, for example, you can insta-kill one target at full health with your ult, but your ult can only affect champions that have lower health, that have the same or less health than your base health. So it would eliminate your ability to like take out tanks with your ult, but you could just instantly eliminate any character that's 2450 or lower, or 2200 or lower. So, you know, something like that. I don't know. Something around your ult would be a bit better for me. Literally, the Law one is not very good. I'm gonna look at Heroism, because Heroism are the 2 big ones. And then we'll look at Death, Hasten, and Discovery, because those builds take a little bit more than Heroism. Now, the advantage of Heroism is you get 90% damage reduction and CC immunity while you are combat sliding. Now, so I have 2 builds. I have this one, which is Usain Bolt, which is movement speed. So this is 50% movement speed for 2 seconds after combat slide ends. And the big deal around that is because combat slide has a 3-second cooldown, you are basically having constant movement speed on that. You have the increase the distance, increase health, and then the other 2 are, I use them as fillers on most of my builds that are not based around my Retribution, and they're primaries on my Retribution. Because those are really, his best cards. I don't like where he does have ammo cards, where they like regen ammo, activating pursuit generates ammo, activating slide generates ammo. I don't really like those cards because of the fact that he has low enough ammo, like, you're not really gonna... It's not as helpful. I mean, you're gonna run out of that ammo so fast, and they all have internal cooldowns on them for the most part. Looking at this build, I'm literally just... This is all I have to do. Slide... And you get up and ooh, and now you're slow. And slide, and then you get up and ooh, and then I'm slow. And then you slide, and then you ooh, and then you're slow. And then you slide, and ooh, and then you're slow. That's that for you. That's really the only point of it. The big thing with heroism is that when you slide, you can slide through ult like Genos ult, 240 damage. Terminus ult and a Dredge ult, 400 damage. A Leon ult, 160 damage. A Skye ult, 300 damage. Genos and a Ceres. I mean, not Genos, Damba. Shit. Damba and Ceres just slide through CC immune. I don't know why I hit that button by accident. Anyways, so that's that. And then there's my primary build is why are you running? So this has max out the range on this. The Wicked don't rest as a filler. That's kind of me trying that out. I don't really like the filler card on that. And then this is more of a sustain because the level 3 card on this is the Justice Served. So whenever I kill my Retribution target, I regain half my health. Now that is not really important on this build because if I'm running a heroism, I'm not really focusing on somebody. And that's the disadvantage to him. I'll show off the max range. This is your max slide range. That's pretty decent. Yeah. That's a decent range. The entire time you're sliding, your CC, immune, and 90% damage reduction. And you can fire while you're doing that. I just don't prefer it because of the accuracy loss. Oh, they fixed that. Good. They fixed the cancel where before it used to be where you would try and activate pursuit while you were sliding. It would just cancel one or the other. So I'm glad that they fixed that. That was an annoying ass bug for me. Let's see. Can I do it again? That's nice. So now you look at your other builds. You have Death Hasten and Discovery. I want to talk about Discovery last. So you have Death Hastens first. This, by the way, does give you the fastest DPS in the game. I have crunched the numbers. This and Eagle Eye Kinessa are the 2 fastest time to kills in the game. I kid you not. So you have Death Hasten, so you deal... This is a very important card because it's supposed to be run with your ult, but believe it or not, it's not effective. So it's your weapon shots deal 25% more damage to targets over 65% health, and then you activate your ult, which kills anybody below 65% of your health. That's not really the best way to use it. So we have skill button. And what is this build? So this build is built around... I have the re-equip in there. I don't like having it in there, but for whatever reason, it kind of works on this build. So you have a 10-second cooldown on your pursuit now. With the max health, you have an extra 20% distance, and the slide generating 2 ammo. Why is this important? Where is your tank? I'm gonna kill a tank. So 13 regular shots kills a tank. Now, let's try something else.
I am the instrument of judgment.
Down low, guy. Sorry. Alright, FK for a second. Right here. Now, this is the flip side of the equation. This is how I normally play. Using your pursuit for the bonus damage. It basically lets you have a 1-2 combo with your pursuit and your regular shots being enough to kill somebody. That's the other problem too, is if you try and slide with the reload add-on, it does not add on the ammo for you. Because how you're supposed to play... is like that.
Consciousness.
That's how you're supposed to play. Using your primary fire to burst down your target, and then you use your ult. However, it really isn't that effective there. It's more effective in a situation like this.
Double kill.
That's not what I was doing. Hold on. It's more effective for poking at mid-range because now you're not losing the damage fall off. Let me go back over to here.
Spend your credits before I spend them for you.
Now you see the damage fall off. Before I was hitting like consistently 200 a shot, and now it's 180. That's why Death Hastens is very good if you want to play a little bit more of a long-range Lex. If you're trying to play a closer range Lex, it's not, see, here I'm dealing the 200, and now it's down to the 170 range. That's what I'm saying with, this is mostly for damage fall off at range. That's my big thing on this card. It's not really great for bursting a target down much faster, but it's more for, as you're closing in, you're able to do enough damage so that there's no loss of damage from mid-range to close range, as you saw right there. So I'm attacking like this, and I'm not losing damage really from being farther back. Obviously you're gaining damage when you're coming in close on this character, but it's not as noticeable that I'm at range versus up close. So we'll talk about your last one. This is Discovery. So this is target lock. So this has 50% lifesteal against the Retribution, and then the 45%. I really like that card at 45%. I don't need it at 60 or 70%. I really don't. If you have Justice Served where it is right now with Kill to Heal, if you get Kill to Heal up to 3, you're looking at 1900. You're looking at 1900. Or not 1900, 2100. On this build, you're looking at 2100 basically. Right around 2100 every time you get a kill. And then if you get life rep, you're looking at 80% life rep against your Retribution target. So this gives you a lot of incentives. You have In Pursuit generating ammo, because I generally tend to use Pursuit when I run out of ammo on this build. And then obviously Commencement 1 just as a filler. That's a great filler. But looking at how this loadout works, so you cut your cooldown, your Retribution target by 15 seconds, and then you deal 30% more damage. So you're dealing more damage, and you're getting more life rep off of this target on the build. That's what makes this build very important to me. It also, this is how Lex is supposed to be played. Lex is supposed to be played as kind of a seeker missile. He finds one target on the map, and he goes after that target. And you're able to see, there's the mid-range damage. At close range, what you're looking at. Oh, I've got to go to pips. What are you looking at for close range damage? That's a lot of damage. That's almost double damage a shot. I only need one more shot to kill him. This also helps where it reduces the cooldown on that, so you can do that a lot more effectively. And this, to me, functions a little bit better than No One Escapes the Law because of the fact that you're able to just use your ult right there and kill somebody after just a few shots. Because you get that 30% damage bonus on your Discovery target. So you can just burst them down quickly and then ult. It's very effective.
Don't give up.
Really? The disadvantage to this style of play is this is how you're going to be functioning. So you're going to be saving your Pursuit for low health targets and your prime and the rest of your kit for your retribution target. Because unfortunately, that's kind of how you have to play. So you can use them as a finisher, or you can use them as an aggressive bully targeting one person. The other disadvantage is if you're not running heroism, you're very susceptible to CC and damage. Like, in my opinion, heroism is the best card because of the fact that you now don't have to buy anything in the green in this category except for Illuminate. Like, oftentimes I will run Lex. I will run heroism with the Illuminate if I'm going up against, you know, Sky, Strix, Shaolin, because I don't need any of these other things. I have 90% damage reduction while I'm sliding, and I get the resilience. So it's better for me to run that than it's any of these and save my credits. If you're not normally running heroism, though, what do you want to buy? Well, Illuminate can actually be built into his kit, but only on his retribution target. So, Illuminate's decent if you're trying to hunt people like that. Haven or Blast Shields obviously depends on the team comp. And then Resilience is a decent choice. But again, you're better served on Heroism than you are on these, in my opinion. If you want to run those, if you're like, oh my god, they've got so much CC, so then run Heroism and just slide around everywhere. This is an interesting category. I personally feel Lex is a little bit on the slow side. So I do sometimes pick up Nimble. But I don't do it often. I mostly pick up Morale Boost. I don't pick up Chronos. The two cooldowns that are really long on him, one is cut down with a loadout, and one is cut down with a legendary card. So there's no real reason to run Chronos. And if you're picking one, there's no reason you should be picking the other. What I mean by that is if you're picking Discovery, you should not be picking up the skill button loadout. Because they don't mesh well together. So, you know, you kind of just want to find what you're doing. Are you going to run around just using your skill button trying to auto-aim people? Are you going to be trying to hunt down one particular person and kill them? And decide if you need the Chronos or not. Or if you're running Heroism, you kind of just say, fuck it, and you don't need that anyways. Morale Boost is what I generally run. Master Rider is decent for positioning, but the way your slide works, you can build your slide to be really fast, so I wouldn't worry about that. Morale Boost for me is the go-to because, you know, I've had so many times I get a Fernando down I get them down to about 30%, and just comes in with a Mega Potion as I ult them. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just wasted that. So, Morale Boost is a good pickup for that. Rejuvenate, Veteran, I wouldn't. If you have multiple healers, Rejuvenate. If you have Veteran, maybe. You have good cards in your loadout that help, where you can get, most of the builds I run have 45% of my health back if I kill my Retribution target. With Kill to Heal, at 3, you're looking at, you know, almost a full health bar on, and that's very important on a Discovery build, because can just constantly keep targeting the same Retribution target and focusing them down, especially if they're a sniper or a healer, just constantly focusing them down and getting them out of the way, and you're going to be able to sustain yourself. If they have help, that's why you have the Life Rip in your kit. Now you can get Life Rip as well. Like I said, I've got 50% Life Rip on the target. So it's on that build that's designed for, you know, singling that one person out. Every time I hit them for a shot, I'm getting half of that damage as health. Not to mention, I get health regen when I end up killing them. So it's a very self-sustain oriented build, believe it or not. Discovery is your sustain build. Wrecker is what I recommend. I mean, Cauterize is what I recommend. I don't recommend Bulldozer or Wrecker. Even if you're going against a Torvald and a Vivian, if you're going against a Torvald and a Vivian, I would recommend Death Hastens over Wrecker. Cauterize, you really need Cauterize with the way your ult works. And I actually recommend reload speed because you do have a rather long reload speed. That's a rather long time for a flank. Tips and tricks. Not a lot. Tips and tricks. Your skill button is not as skillful as you might think. It does suffer from damage fall off, as do your primary shot.
You all have been judged and found wanting.
Your slide is
Spend your credits before I
pretty
spend
good,
them for
but it's
you.
not good unless you're on the ground. I don't really like firing a wall. I'm sliding. I don't know, there's just something about being able to circle straight for me. This is the problem right now. Is okay, so I'm trying to be a Fortnite player and bunny hop and shoot. But the problem is you have to push the 2 buttons at the same time. Because you can't just hold this button down and shoot. And you can't just hold X to jump. So me trying to be one of those newbie Fortnite players that I see all the time is really fun.
Spend your credits before I spend them for you.
You know what? I think I'm done. I keep having to sneeze really bad. I got tea ready, so we're gonna have another video later today. Don't worry. That one should be the Leon one. But in my opinion, I just think Lex is a little bit of a lower tier champion because of how low his damage is. If they were to fix the Law 1 and make that a bit more viable, I think that would be better. The other 3 are good cards, but unfortunately Lex, without any of these cards, is a bad champion. Like, more so than other champions in the game, he's pretty bad without a legendary card. There's a lot of champions that you can say, well, they function pretty well without a legendary card. You know, they don't need a legendary card to be effective. You look at Terminus as an example. He doesn't need a legendary card to be effective. Victor, to a certain extent, he doesn't need a legendary card to be effective. You look at Damba, he doesn't need a legendary card to be effective. Khan's another one. He doesn't need a legendary card to be effective. It's just icing on the cake. And then you have champions that really do. And we're going to talk about that a bit with Maeve. In the Maeve video that's coming up. You'll see what I mean with that video. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope it's been fun.